Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So the rumors are really starting to heat up here surrounding Julio Jones, especially after today's call with Shannon Sharpe on TV, and then of course the Ian Rappaport news that Julio requested a trade a couple months ago. So this has kind of been in the works for quite some time. So in this one, I really wanted to first ask the question, should the New York Jets make a push to acquire Julio Jones? We'll take a look at both sides of the coin, if we should trade for Julio Jones, if we shouldn't, the pros and cons for both, and then at the end I did want to share my overall thoughts, my opinion on the matter, what I think the Jets should do. So with that being said, let's dive in. So right off the bat, Julio Jones is one of the premier wide receivers in the league today. But we already know this. This is well established. We've been watching Julio Jones dominate defenses, dominate cornerbacks for years on end. The majority of his 10-year career, he's been putting on a show. This guy's been virtually unstoppable. Great hands, great size, speed, box out ability, playmaking ability, red zone threat, wins at 50-50 balls, route running. This guy, full package. He's like a machine out there. Tons of production. We know he's great. He's 32 years old and he's owed $23 million for this season. He's a $19.2 million cap hit in 2022 and 2023. So if you're going to be trading for Julio Jones, the good thing is you're going to have him for a couple of seasons, right? You have that long-term security, but on the flip side, you're going to have to pay him a ton of cash. Julio Jones is owed a lot of money here. That's not fooling anybody. So let's dive into the pros and cons for trying to add a Julio Jones. And I think the first thing that really needs to be brought up when you're talking about the Jets specifically, whenever you're entering a season with a brand new rookie quarterback, it doesn't matter where they're drafted, first round, seventh round, whatever, if you have a rookie quarterback starting, I feel like the overall mindset, the overall thought process throughout the organization should be, let's do our best to alleviate the pressure, alleviate the stress off of this rookie quarterback's shoulders so he has less to deal with, less on his plate. If you add Julio Jones to this Jets team, a top 5, top 6 wide receiver in the league today, you are definitely helping out Zach Wilson, not just, from the mental side of things, but on the field as well. The minute Julio Jones arrives in Florham Park, he's not only just the team's best wide receiver and the best overall player on the team, but he would be the best wide receiver that the team has had in the last 10, 11 seasons, probably could go further back than that. So you want to talk about getting your rookie quarterback weapons. That's an A+ move for Joe Douglas, right? If that's your goal, to get Zach Wilson as much help as possible, and you go out and you land a top 5, top 6 wide receiver in Jones, I mean, Zach Wilson would probably have to be in a lifetime of debt to Joe Douglas if this were to play out. But like every other NFL move, there's a catch. There always is a downside. There's always something that makes you pause. The contract is issue number one. Are you okay? Is Joe Douglas okay with shelling out $20+ million for Julio Jones at 32 years old? Julio is still a dominant player. He's still a great player for sure, but it's not like he's turning 26. It's not like he's turning 27 next season. Okay, so that's something that we have to consider. He would be 32 years old, and we would have him for the next 3 seasons, so 32, 33, 34. That is a little bit of a concern. I haven't really seen this mega drop-off of Julio Jones, right? I don't want to really compare him to Tom Brady here or anything like that, because 32 is still a pretty young number, but we haven't seen Julio just tank off a cliff where he's just irrelevant, not in the least. Julio is still a great player. Issue number 2, what we would have to give up for Julio is probably something nice. Now, the rumored trade compensation is a second-round pick, so right off the bat, it would suck to say goodbye to a second. I mean, especially going into a season with an unproven coaching staff and a rookie quarterback, we don't really know how the Jets will do. I mean, we can try to project and everything like that, but it's just so tough to, because there's so many fresh faces. Could we be essentially parting ways with a pick in the 30s? Like, if we had the 36th pick, now that's Atlanta's, that's a pretty, it's a pretty valuable pick here. Let's be honest. But the good news for the New York Jets, we have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and 2 fourths, and a third-round pick as well. But we have multiple picks in rounds 1, 2, and 4. So if the Jets say, hey, you know what? We can get Julio Jones. He will be an upgrade on this team. He'll help out Zach Wilson. I feel pretty comfortable paying him his salary, and we have multiple second-round picks. If Atlanta wants one of these second-round picks, we'll give it to them because we have another. And hey, let's just say worst-case scenario, Atlanta gets into a bidding war and says to the Jets, hey, we want a second and now a fourth, a second and a fifth. it's not as bad as a team like the New England Patriots or something like that having to give it up, because we have these extra picks. It's kind of a little bit of a buffer. It's not as detrimental to the team, detrimental to the future of the team, the draft picks, because we have those extra ones. So I think on the surface, there's a lot of pros. There's also some drawbacks. So now let's switch gears and talk about the pros and cons against the Jets trying to go out and make a Julio Jones trade. So I think right off the bat, the first pro is that the Jets are honestly pretty good right now at the wide receiver position. I mean, as far as the outside guys are concerned, Corey Davis, 3-year deal. I love that signing. Still has room to grow. He's been productive. Size, hand, speed. I really like Corey Davis. Denzel Mims going into year 2 on the outside. Keelan Cole. I mean, this is a guy who's played a little bit of outside wide receiver, and he's made some plays, great hands, he can separate. I really, really like Keelan Cole. And then, of course, in the slot, we have Jamison Crowder, Elijah Moore, even though I think Moore can line up outside occasionally. I really don't feel like the Jets would be missing out on anything if say, Julio winds up in Baltimore or Vegas or Tennessee or Indianapolis, somewhere like that. Now, if he ends up in New England, that would obviously sting. It would suck. But I don't feel like it's going to hurt the team. It's not like we're one piece away from being a Super Bowl contender or anything like that. We still have so much room to grow. We still have so much uncertainty on the roster. We don't really know how a lot of these guys are going to look next season, just as far as the overall statistics and production is concerned. So I'm really satisfied. I feel really good about the current roster, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, it always helps to add more, like just bolster the team with more talent, especially a guy like Julio Jones. But I feel like if the Jets don't do that, if JD passes up on the opportunity, it's okay. We're not getting worse as a team. We're just back at square one where we are right now in this very moment. So I think right now, my opinion on it, if the Jets, let's just say they do this, right? An hour from now, news breaks, the Jets acquire Julio Jones. I'll be pumped. I'm not going to lie to you. I would be doing backflips up and down the stairs of the apartment complex that I'm living in. I would be amped. Julio Jones is a Jet. That would be huge. But let's just say he ends up in Baltimore. It is what it is. I'm not going to be pissed. I'm not going to be angry or anything like that that the Jets missed out on an opportunity here. I think he would be a great fit in Baltimore, but as far as the Jets are concerned, I think we're okay, like I was saying before. So bottom line is this. It's a win-win. No matter what the Jets decide to do, it is a win-win for the organization. If we trade for Julio, we're getting a great player to help out the rookie quarterback. We have the money to pay him with the cap space. We have extra draft picks, so the trade compensation wouldn't be as detrimental to the team's future as it would maybe another team out there. If the Jets stand pat, we don't trade for Julio. Great. We have a stacked wide receiver room to begin with. We could save this money. We have these extra draft picks now that we can utilize on, rookie players coming in next season. It is a win-win no matter what the Jets do. So that's kind of my take. I would be pumped either way. And it feels really good. It feels really good to be in a position like this after years of Adam Gase, years of, either being stagnant in one spot with Todd Bowles or just slowly but surely getting worse and worse and worse. It feels good to have a bright future and have kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Should the Jets try to pursue Julio Jones? If they did, would you like it? Should they pass? Do you like the room as it is? Where do you think Julio Jones is going to end up? Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.